Good morning guys, thanks for joining me. Mark here again on this grey and dreary day down here in the woods. Now I had good intentions of coming out and just shooting a short video just on solar navigation, but unfortunately now them clouds have come rolling in that plan's been scuppered. So what I thought to do is talk to you about an item which I've been carrying now for around about 6 or 7 years, and that's this Scandinavian hand-forged axe. Now we all know that the guys over in Sweden make phenomenal bushcraft kit. Now I'm sure if you look in most people's rucksacks you're going to find something there from Sweden, whether that's a knife, an axe, a ferro rod or a saw. And again, one manufacturer that doesn't need any kind of introduction is Mora. Now we all know the quality of Mora knives for the cost, and this knife in particular doesn't need any introduction, which is the Bushcraft Black. Now whether you're just starting off in bushcraft or you're looking for a secondary knife, these ones are absolutely brilliant. Now for £40 you're getting high carbon steel, 90-degree spine, Scandinavian grind, very comfortable to hold in the hand, easy to sharpen, and it does maintain an edge for a long time. Now just going alongside with that is this axe itself. Like I say, hand forged in Sweden, absolutely brilliant quality, and again very affordable to us. Now we've all heard of Wetlings and Hults Bruks, which can be quite expensive. Now if you're looking for a backup axe, or you're just entering the world of bushcraft and you don't want to be spending a fortune on an axe, this may be a good option for you. So what I thought to do is just talk to you just a bit about the spec. I do a little bit of carving, a little bit of cutting, and also what may surprise you mostly is the cost of this axe. So just giving you a quick close up there. Now this axe in particular here has come from Hults Bruk. Now Hults Bruk have been making axes, or production axes, certainly since 1697, which makes them the oldest axe manufacturers in the world. So I'm sure over that kind of time period they've learnt a thing or two about making axes, and certainly put everything into this one. Now this one here has come from the Agdor range. Now the Agdor range is their entry level range. They do also have a classic range, which kind of then bumps everything up just into the price of what Hults Bruks and Wetlings are. But like I say, for £35 if you're looking for a budget entry axe, this is probably worth looking at. Now one thing that they do just to keep the price down is just give you just a crappy little edge mask here. Now this one I've actually just put an extra leather thong just at the back of it, and that then just helps just to grip around the pole here and just stops the mask from actually slipping off, which happened a couple of times just as that leather started to age and stretch a little bit. But you can buy aftermarket masks if that's what you want to do. But all I've done, like I say, is just put just a little bit of leather just through the back of it, again just helping just to grip it just on the back of the pole here, just to stop it from coming off. Now high carbon steel, the weight of this one is 1 3/4 pound head. The total weight of the axe is 2 1/4 pounds, so not a great deal of weight. You know, if you've got it in your pack, you know, there's nothing worse than carrying too much weight about. Certainly a guy like me is not the biggest, strongest guy in the world, so again I like to carry items that I know that I can carry, but I'm also going to benefit when I get into the camp. Nice convex grind on it, and what you've got here, if the camera will pick it up, you'll see a line, and all this part here is the hardened part of the steel, so that you know there you've got quite a bit of room and plenty of sharpening time in the axe itself. So the way that the handle's been attached to the head is with wedge and ring, so there's no chance that this is going to pull out or come flying out. And if I can just give you there just a shot of the profile, you can see there a nice slim taper running down, which is going to make it ideal for cutting, but also very good for splitting wood as well. And one thing that I like to do just up on the toe here at the top of the axe, if I can just get the camera picked up here, is I always like to make sure that that part there is razor sharp as well, and that way then, God forbid that you ever lose your knife, or you may just want to use your axe for processing firewood, you know, completely all the way through. You can actually use the axe and hold it and actually make feather sticks or any kind of fine carving just by using that part of the axe there. So one other thing that I like to use the axe for, you know, certainly for camp chores, is when it comes to making stakes or tent pegs. Again, if you've got to make quite a few of them, you know, can sometimes take the edge down off your knife, so if I've got an axe, my first choice would always to go to the axe. Now this piece of hazel here would actually make quite a nice fishing pole if that's what I was going to be using it for. But as it tapers down, I'm just going to use the thick section at the bottom, and just round about the thickness of my thumb, and I'm going to make around about 18 inches, so just touch longer than just what the axe is there. So just chopping it off, and then what I do for the bottom is just place the stick at an angle and just make one cut, and that's pretty much going to do just to knock into the ground. Now if you needed to, or you wanted to, you could just tidy that up, or like I say, just use the toe of the axe here just where it's razor sharp, and you could just shave that down and just get the point just how it is that you need it. Now this ground's quite soft here, so I'm not too bothered about that. I'm just going to straighten this edge up, again, just making things nice and quick. And just using the batten, I'm just going to knock a notch in, just like we would do with a knife or with a saw. And again, we can just cut that notch out just by using the axe and just saving the edge on your knife. It hasn't got to be anything fancy. Like I say, if you've got to make a few of these, you know, time is of the essence, that kind of thing. And there we just put a simple number 7 or a steak notch. And then I'm just going to trim off just opposite that notch there. Just put a little flat section there just to stop the wood actually splitting and breaking just on the notch. And then the beauty of the Hultafors axe is the flat pole just on the back, which just makes things easy then just for actually knocking any kind of poles or tent pegs in that you may use. So when it comes to maintaining the axe, now the handle itself here, this is a hickory handle like the majority of axes are, very hard wood, and probably every couple of years I've been giving it a light sand down and just a coat of linseed oil, and that seems to have held up really well. And the steel itself, now I've tried to get some kind of spec of what the steel is. All I can see anywhere is that it's an high quality, high carbon steel. Now I don't know if it's 1095 or whatever it is, I'm not sure, I don't really think it is, but it certainly does hold an edge and does receive an edge very well. And as you can see there, just got a little bit of a patina on it, just off a little bit of ash and a little bit of oak that I've been cutting. So like I say, when it comes to sharpening the axe, this is something that I do either when I get home or if I'm spending a night or two out in the woods. I do use the same field sharpening kit as what I used on the LT Wright Genesis review that I did, and that's the Beaver Bushcraft field sharpening kit that they do. But a lot of people, and it's certainly very good for using it for this kind of thing, you can get a round sharpener which is referred to as a puck, because unlike sharpening a knife where you're actually bedding down, finding the angle and cutting into the stone that way, when it comes to sharpening an axe, what I like to do is just make sure that you're nice and comfortable with it, and just for argument's sake, just using this DC4. Now if I've got any kind of chips or any kind of nicks, you could perhaps go with the diamond side, but this at the moment, no problem, it's fine. All I wanted to do is just perhaps sharpen that edge up just a little bit, and just using the DC4, just making sure that you're not going to cut your fingers. Some people like to hold them in the centre, find the angle, and then circular motions throughout the axe blade. Or what you can do is just hold it just on the edge with your finger, just at the back here, so you're not going to run it on the cutting edge. And just sharpen it that way, turning the axe over, and just repeating the process just on the other side. Like I say, I like to concentrate as well as everything else on the blade, but just up on the top here, like I say, just for any kind of fine carving that I want to be doing with the axe. And there's no real set amount of times that I do it. I just do probably a minute on each side and then just check. And then if you wanted to after that, just like a knife, you could actually strop it. But at the moment, that's absolutely razor sharp again, just how they should be. You know, it's always nice just to keep them sharp. Like I say, you know, a lot of people think that you can use them while they're dull, which you can, because it says more of a chopping action and you've got a lot more force going through it. But like I was saying, any kind of fine carving that you want to be doing, you just need that edge nice and sharp. Well guys, that's it for this one. Just a short one just on the Hultafors Agdor axe. And like I was saying, you know, you refer to it as a budget axe if you want, but it's certainly not a budget product for the budget price that you're paying for it. Now if you wanted to go even cheaper, I suppose you could go B&Q somewhere like that and spend £20 and you're going to get £20 worth of quality. But again, you know, the Swedes are blowing my mind in the fact that they can produce something so good for such a little cost. So if it is that you're interested in this kind of thing, like I was saying, whether you're just starting off bushcraft or maybe you want to replace an axe, I've been saying for the past couple of years I'm going to upgrade axe, and I haven't actually done it. You know, I didn't really see the need to, you know. Maybe if I wanted to, I'd go a little bit longer, a little bit heavier, you know, but it's certainly not down to the quality why I think I'm going to upgrade my axe. You know, like I was saying, for £35 I don't think you're going to get anything better. So until next time guys, Thanks a lot like always, you take care and I'll see you again.